WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000. mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Things seem to get more expensive as the years go by. Take groceries. Prices are up by 36%. And keeping up with your health, that's up too by 54%. But did you know at FPL what you pay for energy has gone down 10% over the last 15 years? And they're not cutting corners either. They're investing in energy that's not just the most reliable or the cleanest, but also the most affordable. See how we're keeping your bill lower than most states at fpl.com/value.
Hey, Sean Hannity here for DeVoe Cadillac. Now, you all know Cadillac is synonymous with quality. In fact, it has been the icon of American-made luxury vehicles for over 100 years. Now, DeVoe Cadillac has been in business for over 50 of those years. Now, they serve Southwest Florida as a family-owned and operated business. They've done it the whole time. The DeVoe family has embraced the same commitment to quality that Cadillac represents. Listen, I could drive whatever I like. And guess what? I choose Cadillac again and again and again because I love my Escalade. I really enjoy the comfort. I enjoy the safety, the style. And that's why, let's see, I've already purchased over 10 Cadillacs in my life. And my go-to dealer in Southwest Florida is DeVoe Cadillac. Now, I know they're going to take great care of you and your new Cadillac with expert service from the people who know it best. Get to know our friends at DeVoe Cadillac, your Cadillac dealer right here in Naples.
Replace your AC today, go on a cruise tomorrow. Island Air wants to send you to the island. Matt here from Island Air of Southwest Florida with some great news.
Decisions. Do I buy an air conditioner? Do I take a vacation? For a limited time, Island Air is offering you both in one package.
Call us today to find out more details on how to claim your voucher. Call 239-466-8668.
Call 466-8668 for more details.
License number CAC 057544.
After Drew, it's Glenn Beck 9 till noon. You've come to the right place. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
You couldn't buy Coors anyplace but Colorado. We pulled out this little can and said, we'll have this on our 50th anniversary. It always just got packed up and went along, and we just never really thought about it. We sat down, we talked a while about Dad and about our marriage, and then we got out the Coors. I was very surprised. I thought it would be full of crap, and it wasn't.
Okay, can this be true? Is this possible? Do you understand what you just heard? A South Dakota woman keeping her promise to her deceased husband. They said that on their 50th wedding anniversary, they would drink a 50-year-old Coors Banquet beer. And they did it. Or she did it. Can you drink a 50-year-old beer? I mean, I never thought of it that way. You can?
That's love, baby. That's love, right?
It's not about, well, it is love, but maybe somebody knows. 239-479-5592. Have you ever had a beer over a month old? I mean, that's what ends up happening. It's you look at, well, all right, maybe not a month old, but
sure, a lot of people.
50 years, you can drink a beer after 50 years. Beer, I seriously, I don't know. I'm not a connoisseur of all things alcoholic, so I'm not really sure. I understand that wines ferment and they get better with, well, not every single wine, but wines get better with age. Does beer get better with age? If beer gets better with age, then why do they have a born on date or why do they tell you what's the purpose? Like it's the fresh or the not, I don't know.
I mean, it tastes better when I get older.
Yeah, well, it might be a millennial thing where your taste buds.
I don't like it. It's gross.
What's that? You don't like beer?
Not at all.
Okay. But I've never heard of that. I've never heard of anybody being able to drink a 50-year-old beer. I would be it's fascinating to think what's in it, like what it looks like, right?
If anybody has one, I'm pretty sure I know a couple people who would drink it.
Yeah. Well, all right. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. We appreciate you watching and subscribing to the podcast. Drew Steele, you can go to your favorite place where you get your podcast, and you can go to the website if you want to click on the link. Hey, speaking of old, ancient, and probably a lot of crap.
Not a joke.
Are we talking about Joe Biden? I'm sorry. That's not very nice. All right, so a couple of things the President of the United States said yesterday, and one of them actually happens to be this morning's Cup of Joe.
Sit back with your morning Cup of Joe.
Not a joke. I have to seek permission to leave. I had to check, you notice. Thank you again.
There's the President of the United States who was at a meeting there, a press conference at the DNI, Department of National Intelligence, and being very calm about the fact that he needs to step up to the microphone and let everybody in the room know that he needs permission to leave. Is there anything a little awkward about that at all? Nothing to see here. Everything is fine. Move along. I'm not really sure how that works, but it seems like for many, it's not that big a deal. How dare you? Why would you even suggest something could be wrong with that? I do. And we do have an issue with that. But some other things that he said yesterday, pretty important comments. And then one that we might have to take a step back, and it has to do with the vax issue and the masking issue. So yesterday he said this, and I want you to listen to this carefully. With regards to cybercrime, cybersecurity, there at the DNI, and the issues of our safety and security on cyber, he says,
You know, we've seen how cyber threats, including ransomware attacks, increasingly are able to cause damage and disruption in the real world. I can't guarantee this, and you're as informed as I am. But I think it's more likely we're going to end up, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, it's going to be as a consequence of a cyber breach of great consequence.
It's going to be as a consequence of a cyber breach if we're going to end up in a war where we're actually going to fight. Now, when people heard this, there were a few people that reached out to me and said, did you hear those comments? Because a couple of things come to mind. Number one, we're constantly told that there are others, that there are people who we should point out and blame that have to do with cyber attacks against this country. And I would say a pipeline that is an important pipeline that has to do with the way we react in commerce every single day, how we move around this country, how we're able to have free flow of oil in this country. For a pipeline to be shut down by we're told, a state actor who decided to do this or be part of this in a lot of different ways. When you say something like that, that sounds like a threat that you have to be willing to back up. That's what people have said to me. I mean, if you make those kind of comments, don't you need to be prepared to back that up? And oh, by the way, speaking of those kinds of threats, even outside of the cyber, while the military is concerned in this country about being woke enough, as we've heard from General Milley and others, while we are debating back and forth about women and in the military, while we're debating about transgenders in the military, while we're going through all of this, we're putting out different videos talking about those kinds of issues and recruitment and the like. There are some things that are happening outside of the borders of the country, and especially the very porous southern borders, which are of concern to this White House, because clearly, if the Delta variant is as bad as it is, there is ample opportunity and reason to shut down the southern border, and it's good to see that the White House is doing that. I can't do it. Can't even do it with a straight face because that's not happening. But that's a whole different subject. We're not allowed to talk about that. But I'm seeing some of the headlines here as I just talked about that. Russia producing 2 new quote-unquote doomsday planes as mobile command centers in event of nuclear war. There are some issues in the UK. UK plans to remove Chinese state-owned firm from nuclear energy projects in latest sign of growing mistrust. Ultimately, fear that by working with China, the UK might place some of NATO's most precious military secrets at risk is probably why this has suddenly become a priority. I'm just saying that there's a lot of things globally that are going on that I wonder, and I hope that behind the scenes, we are keeping an eye on and focused on, because it sure feels like from the outside, we're really not doing that very much. As a matter of fact, it sure feels like we're focusing on all the wrong things, like how to be woke enough and how to teach our kids critical race theory in schools. And there's a story on that as well, coming up this morning, and how once again you continue to push back. It's not going away as much as there are people in the district that you live in, school district-wise, certain teachers who are loving the idea of pushing critical race theory, diversity, equity, and inclusion, DE&I, as it's been known, social justice and white fragility and the like, and we're not going away. And that's something that's being heard across the country. But it sure would be nice if there were more of a focus from this administration on the safety and security of the country and really concentrating on that aspect of it instead of the wokeness of it. And here's something else that the president said yesterday, which I thought was interesting and a lot of people noticed right away. We're going to get to the masks, mask wearing, double, triple, quadruple, no mask, need mask. If you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask. Yes, you do need a mask. And those things change within 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks, we went from, I'm not kidding. We do have to get to this. I'm not kidding, and I'm looking at it right now. Within 2 weeks, what am I talking about? Within 1 day, I'm looking at the headlines from the CDC, 1 day. The headlines went from get vaccinated as soon as you can so you can get back to doing the things you love. Get vaccinated. 2, CDC reverses indoor mask policy saying fully vaccinated people and kids should wear them indoors. Some vaccinated people infected with the Delta variant after vaccinations may be contagious, says this new science. 1 day. We're going to get to all of that coming up. But the president wanted to make mention of how much of a dope, how much of a dolt, how much of a doofus, how much of an idiot, how much of a, I don't know, what other words can we come up with, Jake? You're good at this. You're good at insulting people. What other way can we do that? Sorry, that's not really true. Jake's not really good at insulting people. He's just good at figuring out ways to wear a hoodie and look fashionable.
I'm trying to hide my hair.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Here's the president of the United States yesterday on people not getting vaxxed.
Will you require all federal employees to get vaccinated?
That's under consideration right now, but if you're not vaccinated, you're not nearly as smart as I thought.
If you're not vaccinated yet, you're not nearly as smart as I thought. He said, if you're not vaccinated yet, you're not nearly as smart as I thought. Sean Davis at The Federalist brought up something very interesting. Did you want to comment, Jake?
I was just going to say a lot of us think the same about you, buddy.
Be nice. Be nice. Look, this is the kid. We have a lot of kids that are listening. Kids, don't be like Jake. Just don't be like Jake. Wash your hair at every shower. Washing your hair is not optional when it comes to getting in the shower. That's actually my son. Oh, you do that too, don't you? That's like what is that? Is that a millennial thing? Is that a kid thing? What is that? What is it with kids that don't want to wash their hair every single, like they feel like they could go 2 weeks and have a shower and not wash their hair? What?
Well, my hair is beautiful and smells great.
No, it doesn't. No,
it does.
Well, that's why you just said you were wearing a hoodie to cover up your hair, and now all of a sudden it smells good and it's beautiful.
So people get jealous when I walk through all the girls. They see all my hair. And
that's not what it is. They're not pointing because they're jealous. But anyway, let's move on. Sean Davis from The Federalist making the point. Is Democrats in the media want you to believe that it's the red states, it's the Trump supporters, it's the GOP conservatives, it's the dopes, it's the dolts, it's the, fill in the blank. Pushing for things like vaccination passports, banning Americans who forego vaccines for participating in the economy. I thought you were smarter than this. The president who's going to get what he wants by insulting you. That's how you do it. Keep in mind that the single largest demographic group foregoing the vax, according to the latest numbers, the percentage of total population that's received at least one dose of the vaccine by race and ethnicity from March to July. The single largest demographic group foregoing the vax is blacks and Hispanics. Seems kind of systemically racist and Jim Crow-y to ban them, no? Oh. That's Sean Davis from The Federalist. Those numbers. That's a little weird and awkward, but again, nothing to see here. Everything is fine. If you can continue to push a narrative that it's all the conservatives and GOP and all the Trump dolts and the like, that you're the problem, you're the ones that don't want to get vaccinated, and until you find out that, hold on a second, when you talk about race and ethnicity, and you see, are we allowed to talk about them individually and are these all conservatives? How do they vote? And yeah, there's a lot of misinformation that's being pushed. What would you expect from the media? That is the fake and the news and 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. And you can watch there. You can also subscribe to the podcast. Thank you for doing that. We do appreciate it. Listen, as you please. As you please. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Right all along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Therese O'Shea.
A slick start to the morning commute. We've got several crashes out there right now, including one at Summerlin Road at Pine Ridge Road in South Fort Myers. That is causing some roadblock along Summerlin. You'll see some delays nearby as well. So you may want to avoid that area. Just take McGregor instead. Looking good if you're heading out up and down McGregor Boulevard, but it is very wet on that stretch of roadway, especially if you're heading out toward the Cape on any one of those bridges. The Midpoint Cape Coral Bridge, going to see slick conditions there as well. A crash from earlier getting cleared up on the Cape Coral Bridge, and out on I-75 Alligator Alley, we have a hit-and-run crash still getting completely cleared off of that right-hand shoulder at mile marker 75 in the westbound direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea, Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. After a few showers closer to the coast to start out the day, look for scattered thunderstorms developing as we head into the afternoon, with temperatures topping off near average for this time of year with a high of 92 degrees. We keep it mild and humid for tonight, waking up in the mid and upper 70s. Kick off your Thursday with a high of 93 degrees for tomorrow, and more scattered thunderstorms on the way. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Psst, I'm about to say a dirty word, a really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instilled the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy or an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. Unfortunately, many drivers in Florida do not carry liability insurance or have limits of insurance that are insufficient to cover your injuries. Uninsured motorist is valuable coverage that you can purchase to protect you in those instances. Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Fort Myers, Naples.
Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit ldtlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano. ldtlaw.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? It's your friend Tyler McCluskey here, and I'm reminding you about our new show that airs every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on 92.5 Fox News. Every week, I give you all the information you need to know about your health insurance needs. We also promote local real estate, entertainment, and have a guest host each week. Be sure to tune in live every Saturday at 11 a.m. or download our show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. For more information or a health insurance quote, visit TylerMcCluskey.com.
Join us this Saturday at 11 a.m. for the Tyler McCluskey Show, right here on 92.5 Fox News.
Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano believes winning cases is no accident. Your case is important. Pick a firm with resources to actually prosecute your case. If your case is accepted, you're guaranteed to not pay a single penny in fees or costs unless you get a favorable settlement or verdict. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano has over 35 years of experience handling personal injury cases in Florida. Visit ldtlaw.com for a free consultation today. Winning is no accident. Lusk, Drasites, and Talisano. ldtlaw.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, are you ready to pay $40 to $50 for a hamburger? Zero Hedge had this story. After decades of living in a relatively low inflation environment, it's hard for most Americans to believe that things have gotten so bad so quickly. People are talking about the doubling over the course of the pandemic of the Fed balance sheet and all the money that's out there. And now all of a sudden they're starting to look at the simple things. Following Joe Biden's town hall on Wednesday night, the Daily Mail spoke to a restaurant manager in Manhattan. According to this individual, rising costs and rising wages will mean that consumers will have to pay more for their meals. In fact, he's warning that New Yorkers could end up paying $40 or $50 for a hamburger? No. That's what he's... No, can never... Bidenomics.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
People sometimes may wonder why they need a big law firm after their injury. Imagine you're on your way to work and then, bam, your whole life changes. You're injured and now you have to fight for justice. Your opponent is not the driver of the car that hit you. It's their insurance company. When you're fighting to get what you deserve, it's go big or go home. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
And Sutherland Nissan wins again. Car shortages are still happening across the entire country. But here in Florida, Sutherland Nissan leads the race in trade-ins and in new and pre-owned inventory. Now, during the $8,000 Fast Trade event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, get $8,000 overbook value for your trade. Thursday through Sunday only. Bring your trade in. Get $8,000 overbook value for it. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com right now. It's the fastest way to get an extra $8,000. So if your trade is worth $2,000, you get $10,000 for it. If your vehicle is worth $12,000, you get $20,000 for it. Why wait? See how much you'll get for your car right now at SutherlandBuysIt.com. Then come see how Sutherland leads the race in new and pre-owned inventory. Get to Florida's #1 Nissan dealer by Sunday. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. Online at FLNissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much. See dealer for details.
First class air conditioning. Our name says it all.
Opportunity is knocking at First Class Air Conditioning. Are you looking for a trade? Apprenticeship opportunities available. Good customer skills required. Please call 239-574-2500. That's 574-2500.
First Class Air Conditioning. Our name says it all.
This is 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right all along. On the radio, on your smart speaker, and online at rightallalong.net.
Another 70,000 COVID cases. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Those were reported yesterday across the U.S. New infections in the past week are at levels not seen since February.
Federal health officials say the Delta variant changes everything because it behaves differently than previous variants of the coronavirus. It behaves in ways that concern federal health officials enough to change their guidance on masking.
Fox's Jonathan Seri, the new recommendations that nearly 60% of vaccinated Americans 12 and older should put masks back on in areas of high COVID transmission, which is more than half the country. And CDC Director Rochelle Walensky adds,
CDC recommends that everyone in K-12 schools wear a mask indoors, including teachers, staff, students, and visitors, regardless of vaccination status.
COVID spiking like never before in Japan during the Olympics. Fox's Simon Owen has this live.
Dave, Tokyo just reported another record number of new COVID-19 infections, counting more than 3,100 cases today. The city's governor is urging young people to cooperate with restrictions and also get vaccinated. Meanwhile, at the Olympics, American swimmer Katie Ledecky has won her first gold medal of the Games in the women's 1,500-meter freestyle, while star gymnast Simone Biles will not defend her title in the all-round competition tomorrow. USA Gymnastics says she has withdrawn to focus on her mental health. Dave?
Simon Iran's supreme leader is calling the U.S. stubborn as nuclear talks remain stalled. He wants sanctions dropped. President Biden wants to rejoin the international nuclear agreement that President Trump pulled out of in 2018. 2 people are dead in Texas after a leak at a chemical plant in LaPorte last night.
It is a chemical acid used in food-grade vinegar.
Harris County Fire Marshal Lori Christensen and dozens of others have burns or trouble breathing. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News, traffic.
A slick start to the morning commute. We've got several crashes out there right now, including one at Summerlin Road at Pine Ridge Road in South Fort Myers. That is causing some roadblock along Summerlin. You'll see some delays nearby as well. So you may want to avoid that area. Just take McGregor instead. Looking good if you're heading out up and down McGregor Boulevard, but it is very wet on that stretch of roadway, especially if you're heading out toward the Cape on any one of those bridges. The Midpoint Cape Coral Bridge, going to see slick conditions there as well. A crash from earlier getting cleared up on the Cape Coral Bridge. And out on I-75 Alligator Alley, we have a hit-and-run crash still getting completely cleared off of that right-hand shoulder at mile marker 75 in the westbound direction. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, as we head into your Wednesday, look to a similar pattern as what we had yesterday, with a few showers and thunderstorms possible closer to the coast to start out the day, and those beginning to migrate a little bit farther inland towards the afternoon. Temperatures topping off near average for this afternoon with a high of 92 degrees. As we head into your Wednesday night, things mainly dying down. However, a few showers will be possible once again closer to the coast for Thursday morning. A mild, humid start to kick off tomorrow with another high near about 93 degrees for your Thursday afternoon, and more scattered thunderstorms in the forecast through Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Joe Biden's plan for America? Recycled leftovers. Time for some right thinking. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We want your car, truck, van, or SUV today. We are paying top dollar for clean vehicles. Before you sell or trade, call Lee Auto Group to get the most money for your car. Lee Auto Group, lee-cars.com. Don't forget the dash.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Riedel, your host of The Drive here. It's summer.
It is ridiculously hot, and you know it. You wearing glasses? How about contacts? I dealt with glasses and contacts for more summers than I can even begin to count. It's terrible. Go get LASIK today with Dr. France and his team. In fact, France Eye Care wants to help you get back to the grind, soon back to school, and back to everything with a $1,000 off of bilateral LASIK. Experience matters, technology matters, and high-quality results matter. That's why I trusted Dr. France and his team with my eyes. Now, again, for a limited time, take advantage of France's Eye Care's Back to the Grind, $1,000 off bilateral LASIK special. Get it today. Dial ** 2020 from your mobile phone. Be on your way to better vision and a better life.
France Eye Care.
Hey, this is Papa with Casey, Carrie, and Cody. And as most of you know, when Irma hit in September of 2017, thousands of people tried unsuccessfully to call a roofing company, but all the roofers were so overwhelmed they could not handle or even answer those calls. Now here we are, 4 years later, and many of those same people are still waiting to have their roofs repaired. So we are implementing our proactive list. If you want to be on our list, call me for our free tolerance inspection. Once we inspect your roof, you will be on the proactive list. If or when the next storm hits, you will have no need to call any roofer because we will be calling you automatically to see if you need help. We can offer emergency repairs and tarp service or whatever your roof requires. Call Papa now for our free tolerance inspection, 945-2700. We believe it's wise to be proactive and it costs you nothing to join our list. Call Papa for our free tolerance inspection at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. License number CCC 1326213.
Ty Lassiter here with Key City Capital. And we're super excited to be growing roots right here in Southwest Florida and are looking forward to being a part of this community for years to come. So why are we Key City Capital here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all our clients and partners through passive real estate and alternative investments. Very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
If you're looking for significant returns from real estate and alternative investments without any risk of loss to your principal and without all the work of collecting rent or worrying about stock market volatility, call us today at 239-330-2080. That's 239-330-2080. 239-330-2080. Or check us out online today at kcap925.com. That's kcap925.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida, Drew Steele.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. The talk and text line streaming live. DrewSteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. You can go there and you can watch the program. It's simple. It's just a simple website made for your mobile device, for your smart device, just so you can watch, kind of like an app. Also, if you go there, there's a link so you can subscribe to the podcast. You can listen anytime you would like. At Drew Steele Radio on YouTube. We're still there right now if you want to watch live as well. Coming up, do want to talk about these new CDC guidelines and Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC, indicating now that you're going to have to mask up if you are vaccinated, and maybe we're going to have everybody masking back up again. And then a lot of questions are being asked, not the least of which is, how do you change everything in one day? How is it that one day, just a couple of days ago, in one day we went from get vaccinated as soon as you can so you can get back to doing the things you love. And then the next day, it's the CDC reverses indoor mask policy, saying fully vaccinated people and kids should wear them indoors. One day you're hearing get vaccinated, so you can get back to doing the things you love. And then the next day, it's some vaccinated people infected with the Delta variant after vaccination may be contagious. There's new science there. How did all of this change and spin in one single day after we were convinced by these experts that they have all the data and the science that they need on vaccination? That's not my words. So when people say, well, I don't understand, what are you so confused about? What's the problem here? They've changed their minds. Well, it's not that simple. So we're going to get into that in some of what's being said. And I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, we're talking about masks again. And we're just looking for the evidence. Look, if you're somebody who's been masking up, okay. If you're somebody who wants to mask up, that's fine. The question becomes, where's the evidence? Where have we seen the evidence at all to suggest that mask mandates work? We're going back to the old system that didn't work to stop the old problem. And we're back to this again. I'm assuming it's okay to talk about this. So we'll get to that in just a second. All right, so Jake was talking about this on the break. I'm a little confused about this. Maybe because I'm watching some of the talking head shows in the morning as I'm making my way to the break room. One of the things they start the program with is this Simone Biles story. The gymnast who decided to pull out of the team gymnastics competition. And clearly, if you've ever watched Simone Biles, she is unreal. Probably one of the greatest gymnasts we've ever seen, doing things that just don't even seem possible. And how we're told that she backed out and she decided not to compete after she'd been struggling mentally in recent days, and after a difficult opening vault, she decided she wanted to, quote, take a back seat with the full faith in her teammates to win a medal, and she wanted to focus on her well-being. There's more to life than just gymnastics. And I'm only bringing this up, and I don't want to talk about it too long, because Jake had his own opinion on this that I hadn't heard before. But she's competed multiple times. She's been in the Olympics before. She's been at the peak of the sport competing. How is it that now there's an issue of her mental well-being and wants to take a back seat, and that there are people who are questioning whether or not you walk away from teammates this way? It's a team sport. So how do you do this? You just continue to compete. Why is it that she's competed this way before and had a lot of pressure? What makes it different now? And what was your take on this, Jake? You said, have you been following this, or is this what your millennial friends, while you're playing World of Shoot 'em Up Part 7 on your video game, that this is what you guys talk about on your headsets in between?
No, that would not be appropriate for this show. What we talk about on
Yeah,
our
I don't
headsets
okay.
and our video games. But as far as I'm aware, I don't know. I've just, from what I've read, she was deducted points for doing things that they deemed not doable by other people, if that makes any sense. Apparently, she's too good. So whenever she performs certain stunts, she gets deducted points rather than gaining points. Yeah, she still probably would win, and she'd probably still get gold. But
yeah, but I thought that the things that she was doing that nobody else could do, the problem was, and I haven't been following it, so I'm just trying to piece it all together, is that when she did those extraordinary things that nobody else was doing, she didn't land properly. Like, she stumbled, she fell a little bit. That's part of what she has to do. In other words, when you land, that landing has to be precision, and if it's not, then you get deducted points. And so people were looking and saying,
I personally heard nothing about that.
Okay,
From what I read, it was the complete opposite.
All right,
she would land, and then she would just not. She would get deducted for doing them in general because other people trying to attempt these stunts would hurt themselves, is what they said.
Okay,
so it's not fair to the other contestants that she's doing these.
Well, they're not contestants,
or whatever. They're
competitors.
Competitors.
Yeah.
The competitors. It's not fair to them because they can't do these things. Only she can do them, apparently.
Okay.
Without hurting themselves.
All I am trying to understand is, you feel bad if this is like some kind of mental breakdown in her well-being, and through all the competition that she's been through in her whole life, that all of a sudden at this moment, for some reason, felt like she had to walk away. But at the same time, she's walking away from teammates. You can't just say, I'm out. See, you guys can handle this. You just keep going. You just keep doing it, don't you? I mean, this is what an elite athlete is trained to do. Somebody described it as, can you imagine if you're an elite athlete like Tom Brady, and you're like, my head's not in this Super Bowl thing today. Listen, the backup guys, you guys can handle this without me. After all the years of being through that, it's, just not sure how that would work. Or, as some said, it's like if Joe Biden turned around and said, I'm not mentally capable here. I just don't have it. And so maybe I should give it to the vice president so she can handle it. Actually, that seems realistic. That's a bad example. I'm sorry. That's not. Yeah, we shouldn't use that as an example because that actually could happen. That's not fair. Oh, and the great Michael Pelka brought something to my attention. Man, I got to play this audio of something that Barack Obama said not too long ago to Colbert that really is striking when you think about it in context to today. And I'm going to play that audio. It's going to make you go, whoa, because you forgot about it. But he didn't. He combed the interwebs and found this audio about how, man, if Barack Obama could be behind the scenes and pull the strings and have somebody else doing his bidding, that it might be fun. Does he really say that? Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. Mask mandates. Why are we masking up? I thought the vaccines worked. What's going on here? Peter Ducey asking Jen Psaki yesterday.
Why do vaccinated people need to put the masks back on?
Well, Peter, first of all, I would say again, just to go back to this chart, which I will handily point to again. If you were vaccinated, it can save your life. And I think the clear data shows that this pandemic is killing, is hospitalizing, is making people very sick who are not vaccinated. That still continues to be the case, regardless of what the mask guidance looks like.
The vaccines work, which this sign says that they do. Then why do people who have had the vaccine need to now wear masks, the same as people who have not had it?
Because the public health leaders in our administration have made the determination based on data that is a way to make sure they're protected, their loved ones are protected, and that's an extra step given the transmissibility of the virus.
Is it fair to ask these questions? Like, what are we doing? That you said before that everything was okay and now it's not okay. And according to the science and data, it's okay to not have to, we can shed the masks and we don't have to worry about them anymore. And now all of a sudden we need to mask up, except for the fact that even though you're talking about vaccinated and unvaccinated, we still don't have the proof about the masks. Peter Ducey talking about the vaccine itself. I'm talking about masking. That's Robin Walensky at the CDC saying, talking about the masks not too long ago with Rachel Maddow. What was it, 2 months ago? And she said, what did she, here's the comments. And she says,
once you are fully vaccinated, 2 weeks after your last dose, you can shed your mask.
You can shed the mask, right? And even Rachel Maddow was like, I'm not really sure about this.
How sure are you? Because this feels like a really big change.
It's a big change. And she says,
we're sure. There's an extraordinary amount of evidence now that demonstrates the vaccines are working in the real world, in cohort studies, in care facilities, in across all states, that these vaccines are working the way they worked in the clinical trial.
Okay, so she sure sounded confident 2 months ago with all this. We've got enough. We've got all we need until now. And now it seems like maybe they're not working as well. Is it the vaccines that are not working as well? Because the masks will help. How will the masks, do you see where I'm going with this? How will the masks help if there's no evidence to show that the masks help anyway, even before the vaccines? Lots of questions. Bernie's in Benita and wanted to comment on this. Hello there, Bernie.
Hey there.
Hi there.
How you doing?
You're as welcome as can be.
You just made my points.
Yeah.
But the conclusion here is, from the get-go, this has been a welter of confusion from the government. What are people supposed to believe? Now they're going to believe that, the masks don't, the vaccines don't work. But as you suggest, use the mask. Well, there's no evidence that works either. A welter of confusion, sir. That's all I have to say.
Yep. Well,
have a good day.
Yep. Yeah, you have a good day, too. You got very serious at the end there. How rarely are the vaccinated infecting others? Are the vaxxed infecting only the unvaccinated, or are they infecting other vaccinated people? We're hearing now that the viral load for both vaccinated and unvaccinated is high. So what are we missing here? We need more precision on the answers and the numbers. And All right, we'll get to that in just a second. Let's see. All right, John's in Fort Myers wanted to comment on Simone Biles and pulling out there of the Olympics. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that a lot of what you said seemed a little bit putting a lot on her in a situation that we've seen a lot of times. You used the example of Tom Brady pulling out of a football game. We had that one guy on the Oakland Raiders back in when they played the Super Bowl against the Bucks, who never showed up for the Super Bowl, and he was having mental health issues. The first major case of something like this happened back in the 70s with a designated hitter on the New York Yankees named Alex Johnson. And we've seen it before with ball players who needed to get traded out of New York, who played for the Mets or Yankees, who just couldn't handle the spotlight of New York. This is not a new thing that would happen with this girl.
Yeah, no, I guess the first thing you have to say, John, and the first reaction that I have is, I feel sorry for her if this is what's happening. It's awful, the kind of pressure that she has been under and what she's able to do and how good she is. And clearly she's head and shoulders above everybody globally. I mean, it's not even close, the things that she can do. But ultimately, she has been in this competition before. She's been at the height and the pinnacle of competition. So what's changed? I
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
People
either.
have emotions and feelings, and they're all over the spectrum.
Yeah.
And right now, she's at a really bad end of the spectrum. And I feel sorry for her.
Yeah, I do
especially
too.
if it's a situation like the one you described, that she's too good. I mean, what the hell does that even mean?
Yeah. Well, no, I understand what you're saying. That's why just talking on the break with Jake about this, and I wasn't even going to talk about it today necessarily, because I mean, if there's an issue, if she emotionally is having some issues, then you have to feel sorry for her. You have to worry about what's going on and what is happening. And Jake was trying to make the point that it seems as if there were others that were trying to lessen her ability because she's so head and shoulders above the rest, that it was others that were diminishing what she was able to do, almost like it wasn't fair. That would play on anybody's emotions. But there are some people, John, and listen, thanks for the call. I appreciate it, that are complaining about the fact that she walked away from the team, and you don't do that. You continue to compete, and after it's all said and done, it just seems like elite athletes don't typically let what other people say bother them. But in this case, I feel like it's something more. I mean, Chris in Fort Myers wanted to comment on this. Hey, Chris.
Hi, good morning, Drew. I love your show.
Oh, thank you. Love you back.
Thanks. I just wanted to comment on Simone and her decision. And while they were competing in a team event, it's still an individual competition, not competition, but performance. And I feel as though she made the right decision if mentally she wasn't able to perform at her best. She gave the other girls the opportunity to step up in the fact that maybe her performance might have hurt the U.S. team. So therefore, I feel like her withdrawing was giving them the opportunity to go for the gold without her, because she felt she wasn't there mentally. And when you're not there mentally in gymnastics, it affects you physically.
Yeah. I guess maybe I'm trying to understand this from an outsider looking in, because I really haven't been paying attention. I have to be honest. And I've kind of been unplugged with the whole, with everything that's going on with the Olympics. And so all I see is someone who apparently, according to her, is having a mental, I don't want to say mental breakdown, but mental stability issues as far as the competition is concerned. And she felt like it was going to be detrimental to the team. And that's what she decided to do. And that's it. I mean,
absolutely. And when you're flipping through the air and doing everything that they do, you have to be mentally on key.
Well, of course, yeah.
You can get injured or
any elite athlete, yeah, Chris. Right, any elite athlete. And thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Sorry, there's issues with your phone there. Jake was pulling. I think I've lost hearing in one side of my head. No, but seriously, that's of course it's that elite athlete that does not only things that others can only dream of doing, but mentally to be on top of it as well is an important aspect of it. So, I feel sorry for her. I mean, it's and to have that kind of pressure that it's all about her and the only way that they could win is with her. I think it's disappointing that people don't get to see her performing because she's so amazing. There you go. All right. Kevin's in Naples. Wanted to comment on masking. Bringing masking back. We're going to double, triple, quadruple mask. What do you say?
Hey, Trey.
It's true. It's true. I'm flattered.
Trey, wait a minute. I dialed Trey and I got Drew. Of
That's
course.
okay.
I apologize.
Call me Dre. It covers both.
Dre. There you go.
No, don't do that,
Dre.
please.
No. Okay. Basically, Drew, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the liberals to start blaming Trump for the issues with the vaccine because, of course, they've never given him any credit for it. But now that it is not working quite as well as everybody had hoped, I wonder when they're going to say, see, Trump pushed it through. They didn't do the trials. And now look where we're at.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise people if that were the case, but you really can't go there because Trump didn't create the vaccine. He just created the opportunity for it to be created at a time when we were told that if we didn't have it, we couldn't get back to normal. So it'd be really hard to stand up and say that it's Trump's fault necessarily. But I wouldn't put it past him to make that case.
Didn't Al Gore, when he was creating the internet, didn't he create the vaccine? I thought that's what happened.
I'm not sure, but I'll go double check. Okay.
Yeah, check that out.
All right.
And then when it comes, just one other comment.
Yeah,
when it comes to Simone Biles, she's an incredible athlete.
Yeah.
But she's already probably past her prime when it comes to age and gymnasts because they don't, they're not always competing for as many years as she has, and she all of a sudden now is not able to do some of the things she's doing, and the Olympics, watching them with nobody in the stand, nothing surprises me anymore when it comes to competition. They're probably not going to have a silver and bronze medals anymore. Everybody's just going to get a gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Listen, Kevin, I appreciate the call. Thanks so much. 239-479-5592. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk more about masking, not masking, double masking, triple masking, no masking. There's an interesting 2 minutes of audio of just Dr. Fauci going back and forth a billion times on this whole issue. And it's disturbing to listen to. But we'll have that audio coming up. Also, Brendan Leslie's going to join us in just a few more minutes. The LACO discharges has been something that we have to bring up coming up soon in detail. I want to have Brian Hammond on with us. Remind me to reach out to Lee County Commissioner Brian Hammond because I want to find out more about this. But there's some things about it that you need to know coming up, some important stories and issues regarding the LACO discharges. I'm not sure you're going to love this very much, but you need to know it. It's coming up. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Keeping it right here. We're 92.5 Fox News, and we've been right all along.
Greetings from Health Plan Network. First, a sincere thank you to the gang at WFSX and their loyal listeners. The response to our recent individual health insurance ads have been phenomenal. Second, a short history lesson. When the federal government made their last attempt at socialized medicine or Obamacare, most insurance companies refused to participate, leaving millions with no choice but the high premiums and deductibles on the marketplace. On the other hand, our clients were able to keep their non-cancelable coverage and have enjoyed low premiums and great coverage for the last 7 years. The new administration has promised yet another run at their stated goal of nationalized health insurance. If you're on Obamacare, uninsured, or on COBRA, now is the time to act. Protect yourself and family with non-cancelable coverage guaranteed to age 65 now. Call me at 239-368-6712 or go to our website at healthplannetwork.net. That's 239-368-6712 or go to healthplannetwork.net. We can help.
At Lamps Plus, we believe your home should be a celebration of you. As the nation's largest lighting retailer, Lamps Plus offers an incredible selection of lighting, furniture, and home decor that are sure to bring out your unique style. We help customers just like you every day beautify their indoor and outdoor spaces, and at the flip of a switch, see their home in a whole new light. Because if you can dream it, you should have it. There are infinite possibilities to bring your home to life at Lamps Plus, including custom order on-demand pieces that match your personal taste and color preference. Select from over 50,000 styles from top designer brands, including Uttermost, with a huge assortment of table lamps, floor lamps, chandeliers, and mirrors to add elegance and style to any room in your home. And now, Lamps Plus offers free shipping on all orders. Yep, free. For up to 50% off selected designs, go to lampsplus.com/Fox News now. That's lampsplus.com/Fox News for up to 50% off. Shop Lamps Plus and let yourself shine.
Stop. Don't purchase any diamonds, jewelry, or engagement rings until you come to Duncan's Diamonds. We are not your typical jewelry store. Here are a few reasons. Family owned. Stuart Duncan and his family have been involved in the wholesale diamond business for nearly a century. No middleman. We are direct diamond importers, offering prices 30 to 40% lower than the rest, passing all those savings to you. No pressure. We are not paid on commission. We are here to help you even if you do not purchase from us, and to make sure you are happy. The largest selection of diamonds and jewelry, access to millions of jewelry styles, and that is up to 30 times what you find in an ordinary jewelry store. Free services, like clean and check whether you purchased from us or not. Don't take our word from a radio ad. Visit Duncan's Diamonds. We will prove we will not be undersold anywhere, anytime, by anybody. Duncan's Diamonds.
US 41, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Naples at Mercado.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Getting older has its advantages. Early bird dinners, senior discounts, day drinking. If you're one of the millions turning 65 soon, it might be time to take a look at your insurance options. Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, so much to keep in mind. At Millennium Physician Group, half our patients are 65 plus. No matter what insurance benefits you choose, make sure your Millennium primary care doctor is part of your plan and your connection to a healthier life. Millennium Physician Group. Connect today. 844-CALL-MPG. MillenniumPhysician.com.
How often have you heard from your wealth advisor over the last 6 months? Markets have moved up and down, and laws around retirement plans and inheritance have changed quickly. We've heard from too many people at other national financial firms that they've been contacted rarely or not at all. At the Naples Trust Company, our clients enjoy a one-on-one relationship with their investment and fiduciary team members, each of whom are locally based and meet regularly with clients for in-person or virtual visits. This personal touch is a trademark of the Trust Company. We make it a point to know you, your family members, and the goals that are most important to you. Are you ready for a better experience? Call us for an appointment at 239-774-4000 or visit NaplesTrustCompany.com to discover the difference.
A division of the Sanibel Captiva Trust Company. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through Summerlin Road at Pine Ridge Road in South Fort Myers. Keeping an eye on a crash with roadblock on Summerlin Road. You'll see Lee County deputies blocking part of that intersection, so expect to see some slowdowns nearby. You can take McGregor Boulevard to get around it. Not looking bad on Long I-75. Definitely a slick drive, though, through Lee County, so take it slow on the roads. No problems now out onto Alligator Alley after we had an early morning crash cleared at mile marker 75. East Trail looking good, and the rest of 41 running up to speed. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Teresa O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, as we head into your Wednesday, look to a similar pattern as what we had yesterday, with a few showers and thunderstorms possible closer to the coast to start out the day, and those beginning to migrate a little bit farther inland towards the afternoon. Temperatures topping off near average for this afternoon with a high of 92 degrees. As we head into your Wednesday night, things mainly dying down. However, a few showers will be possible once again closer to the coast for Thursday morning. A mild, humid start to kick off tomorrow with another high near about 93 degrees for your Thursday afternoon, and more scattered thunderstorms in the forecast through Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 92.5 Fox News.
At 1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, our comfort specialist can handle any AC repair. Call 855 1 Hour for $50 off your repair or visit onehourair.com.
Always on time or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
I've been asked, did you plan on becoming the largest injury law firm in the world? And the answer is no. We set out to be focused on our clients and to have a commitment to trying cases and winning. And when you have those results at trial, you're able to settle most of your cases quickly and fairly. Hard work and client satisfaction was our plan. It worked. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Mason Classical Academy is excited to announce the recent purchase of the Hodges University building for their new high school campus. Conveniently located off I-75 and Immokalee Road, this state-of-the-art campus will set the stage to prepare high schoolers for college by delivering a high-quality classical education. Mason Classical Academy's established proven track record is in high demand, so sign up now to take advantage of this tuition-free educational opportunity. This high school campus is second to none, including high-tech science and computer labs and state-of-the-art classrooms. MCA offers many extracurricular activities, a robust athletics program, and a full-time college advisor. MCA promotes virtue, patriotism, and an accurate portrayal of American history. Do you crave such an education for your high schooler? If so, Mason Classical Academy is the answer. Learn the true, do the good, love the beautiful. Learn more and enroll by visiting masonacademy.com today.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
And Sutherland Nissan wins again. Car shortages are still happening across the entire country. But here in Florida, Sutherland Nissan leads the race in trade-ins and in new and pre-owned inventory. Now, during the $8,000 Fast Trade event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, get $8,000 overbook value for your trade. Thursday through Sunday only. Bring your trade-in. Get $8,000 overbook value for it. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com right now. It's the fastest way to get an extra $8,000. So if your trade is worth $2,000, you get $10,000 for it. If your vehicle is worth $12,000, you get $20,000 for it. Why wait? See how much you'll get for your car right now at SutherlandBuysIt.com. Then come see how Sutherland leads the race in new and pre-owned inventory. Get to Florida's #1 Nissan dealer by Sunday. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. Online at FLNissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much. See dealer for details.
Well, is the little pill working yet?
Men, these days could be a thing of the past. Hello, this is Dr. Lou Spangler at Neogenics. Recent advances in non-surgical treatment for erectile dysfunction, combining high-frequency shockwave therapy with the P-Shot, which utilizes platelet-rich plasma, can help restore your virility. These treatments help restore blood flow to the penis and rejuvenate penile tissues, resulting in longer, stronger, firmer, more satisfying erections. Both treatments are simple, in-office procedures, and there is no pain and no downtime. You can resume all normal activities immediately after treatment, including sexual activity. Men, you don't have to suffer anymore. If you have erectile dysfunction or simply want to improve your sexual function, call Neogenics at 239-277-9999 for a free consultation. That's Neogenics at 277-9999. Again, 277-9999.
What's it like being an installer for Closet Factory? It's one of those cool jobs, like working ski patrol, training horses, or something on a train. I mean, it's your job to bring a designer's and client's idea to life with your own hands, right? There's something beautiful about it.
For more information on what it's like being a Closet Factory installer and if it's the perfect job for you, call today, 239-225-7235. 239-225-7235. Closet Factory is an equal opportunity employer.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. We stream live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. You could watch. It's mobile friendly, simple to watch. You can go to YouTube still at the time being. At Drew Steele Radio, if you want to watch there, and subscribe to the podcast. at your favorite podcast location. You can go to drewsteele.com, and right there's a link you can click so you can listen at your convenience. We got Brendan Leslie coming up in just a second from flconservativevoice.com, Florida Conservative Voice. A couple of stories we want to hit on, some big local stories, especially when you're talking about Lake O releases. I'm not sure you're going to like what you're about to hear. I'm not sure about it, but he's going to have the details in just a second. But I want to remind everybody, when we're talking about mask mandates and what we should and shouldn't be doing and whether or not they are personal choices or not, I thought it was interesting when I heard this little clip from the CDC director, Walensky, who was talking about the issue of masking. And I want you to hear this clip when she was doing a radio interview recently talking about masks and personal choices.
In terms of otherwise updating our guidance, we're not looking at that right now. What I will say is if you are in a place that doesn't have very much disease out there, obviously I should mention it's always a personal choice as to whether someone chooses to wear a mask or not, and that should not be something that is stigmatized or otherwise.
Oh, wait. She said...
I should mention it's always a personal choice.
It's always a personal choice. Is it? It's not really always a personal choice. I don't know if the CDC director understands this, but there are businesses, schools, hospitals, different places, locations, indoor, outdoor, that tell you that you can't be there unless you are masked. So it's not really a personal choice, technically. I mean, when you think about it, the personal choice thing, yeah. So to try to make that case a few weeks back about it just being a personal choice, is it? Not always. Something to be said about that. Anyway, as we move on, Brendan Leslie joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. You know him as the editor there of Florida's Conservative Voice. Always has some great information at the website, flconservativevoice.com. Good morning, sir.
How are we doing, Drew?
Oh, we're doing fine. You've got your 7:40 a.m. voice going on, which is a good thing.
I was out late last night after the show.
All right, we don't need the details. I got you. All right, late nights okay. So a couple of stories I wanted to get to. First of all, I'm looking at the website right now, a report about the Palm Beach Post lies, takes Soros-connected money from ProPublica. What's this story all about?
Yeah, so ProPublica paid, basically, put it in the simplest terms, they paid Palm Beach Post to put out a story saying that U.S. sugar, the farmers are damaging the air and the air quality and the environment with their burning of sugarcane and whatnot. And they did this really long investigation and really found nothing because it's just simply not true. Keep in mind, the sugarcane burning is something that's highly regulated by the state government and by Democrat and extremely leftist Nikki Fried, who's the one who grants them the permits to do this the same day. So it was just a really funny story to see that once again, the media is kind of just they're selling out to just push a controversy when there's really nothing there.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Nikki Fried, I know about her.
Marijuana?
Yeah, that's her. It's what she runs. She runs on that. Oh, look, that's her. Okay. So but then again, when you bring up the Soros-connected money, because the issue there, and you could talk about this in detail, but to understand how connected it is, even at a state level. I mean, where you think this is something that is far away, and when you hear about Soros and funding and everything else, you think, oh, it's happening someplace else until you find out it's happening here.
Yeah, and George Soros is actually given money, according to a report, to ProPublica, and he's been doing this to media organizations all over the nation that are infiltrating here locally across the nation, and it's basically the Palm Beach Post pushing George Soros talking points. That's happening right here in Florida, in the red state of Florida. It's scary to think.
Yeah. Yeah, and you would imagine that by default, the worry, because if you're saying to yourself, if you're listening to the two of us right now and you're saying, well, what does that mean for Southwest Florida? What does that mean here locally or anywhere else across the state? It's just the Palm Beach Post. It's just that article. It's just them. They're the only ones that are doing it. Remember, there's a lot of opportunity for news media outlets across the state locally that do a lot of rip and read that will take from other places like the the Palm Beach Post and other places and put it up on their website. And next thing you know they're doing the bidding of George Soros by posting it on their websites or putting it out on their reports. That's the problem. That's the dirty little secret.
And keep in mind, Palm Beach Post is no different than Naples Daily News, the News Press. They all get funding from the same place, and they're all being funded by these big liberal billionaires, George Soros being one of them.
Yeah, we just have to keep an eye on that. Brendan Leslie joining us on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News. Florida Conservative Voice is the website, flconservativevoice.com. All right, here we go. We're digging in. All right, so we all know that the LACO discharges have been forever and a day. One of the big issues here in Southwest Florida. We've talked about this on numerous occasions. We are told that there are certain individuals and groups that have our back, that people support in town, even though they have no idea who they are, their backgrounds, and the like. And then now we come to find out that the discussion about the LACO discharges, which direction they're going to go, now all of a sudden becomes something new and disturbing. What is it?
Yeah, so let me paint this little picture of context real quick. For Lake Okeechobee discharges, there's only 3 directions we can send the water: south, east, and west. We have almost maximized the amount of water we can physically send south. So the issue becomes now you only have east and west. Well, everyone always says, oh, send all the water south. That's physically just not impossible for many reasons. The infrastructure.
No,
and
it's
just
physically impossible. Yeah.
That's it. The simplest terms, it's physically impossible.
Right.
But that's the slogan everyone goes with. So basically what has happened recently is the Army Corps of Engineers is crafting a new plan that will control how much water east and west and south get for the next 10 years. And it's called LOSUM. But so what ended up happening is they picked the plan that essentially caters to the needs of U.S. Congressman Brian Mast of the East Coast, who's been lobbying for 0 discharges to the East Coast. And this new plan essentially gives almost nearly no discharges to the East Coast, meaning you can't send it south because we already send the maximum amount of water south. So where's it going to go? Where's the only other direction, Drew?
Up.
We wish.
Yeah.
West to us. So that means we're going to get more than double the amount of discharges with this new plan. And if you remember 2018, I don't think anyone ever wants to relive that.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let me get this straight. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I want to get this straight. So what you're saying now is that the LACO discharges that everybody has been talking about, we have issues. We've known for years about these issues. We have 3 places to go, south, east, and west. Now, the Army Corps has is thinking about and making a decision that they're going to send water as much as they possibly can south, which is going to leave excess to go either east or west. Brian Mast, the congressman on the East Coast, doesn't want any of the water coming their way down to St. Lucie. So what they've decided now to do is to agree with them and to send water our way. And not only will it be what it's been before, but it's going to be double what it's been. So we're going to get all the excess and then some coming our way because of this decision. Now, the question becomes, I thought that we had people in town that were advocates for Southwest Florida that have been talking for the longest time about how they're going to do something about these discharges. Where are they?
And, you know, it's a very interesting story. All of this, which we're talking about, I'm going to be dropping a report tonight at 7 p.m. and then another report tomorrow at 7 p.m. on my pages and websites. So be on the lookout for that. But that question is very interesting. Let me tell you something. These water groups are all at odds right now because you got one, the Calusa Waterkeeper, saying, wow, this plan is really terrible. But it's really funny when you look over to the other side and you see Captains for Clean Water and Everglades Foundation publicly endorsing this plan and lobbying for it. And I just sit back and I go, what? And let me tell you, there's pretty much no one other than them that support this plan. It's ridiculous. I do have a little bit of good news. Lee County Commissioner Kevin Ruane has pretty much declared war against Congressman Brian Mast, and he told me yesterday in an interview, which I'll be dropping tonight, that he will not let this plan happen. If it does not get amended and help out the Caloosahatchee better and give more water to the east, he's going to use everything in his power with the county to sue and block this plan. So it's really good to see that we have a local our local guys are standing up to these. I just call them bullies. They're bullies. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, and again, I think the frustrating part is, number one, I can't even believe, for the life of me, I can't believe that a decision could possibly be made that the East Coast would get none and we would get double. How that is even fair and how that worked out, number one, is beyond belief. And then the second part of this is the people that we've been told for the longest time are here and telling everyone that they are protecting Southwest Florida, and they're here to do everything they can to protect Southwest Florida waterways, have pretty much said, yeah, never mind. I mean, that's what I'm getting from you. Sorry, just not happening. So why are you supporting them? Not you, I'm saying in general.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. They are in the process of amending this plan, but this plan, I don't know how much can you amend it without just pretty much ripping it up and starting over again? Because this plan is just, it's bad. It's really bad how much extra water we would get during the rainy season. And we all know what happens when you get those massive discharges.
I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think. And again, I'm projecting out here. This is just me talking. This is just me projecting. I'm not saying this is the case, but it would really stink. And I could think of other words to use, but I'll use stink. It would really stink if that were to happen here, if we would have an unbelievable situation with algae and all the issues that we've had before to a degree that we thought would never be seen in Southwest Florida, all of a sudden to be doubled. And then that being used as propaganda against us and against elected officials and against certain people, because really there's a chance that there's an agenda here that is, I hate to say, political. And boy, wouldn't it stink, and again, I could use a worse word than that, but if certain elected officials were made to look bad when it wasn't their problem at all, that it was almost like a setup. I'm just projecting. I would hate to think that would ever be the case.
You got a really good projection. Now, keep in mind with these environmental groups, I was really happy to see that the Coosa Waterkeeper talked out against them. Typically, he just follows along with the liberal talking points of these groups. But, when Governor Ron DeSantis does good things, such as sign he re-upped the right to farm bill, basically just protecting farmers from unnecessary pesky lawsuits, and guaranteeing them the right to farm the land here. Captains for Clean Water Everglades Foundation, they were really quick to go sell out the governor that they prop up all the time and say that he made a horrible decision and trash him in the media, write op-eds about him. So you have to wonder, is your projection far off? Just like you, I'm just projecting. I'm just wondering. I'm asking the questions. I text Captain Dan Andrews questions all the time. Never answers me. So that's his fault. I give him the chance to explain himself. But these are very important questions people should be asking themselves.
No, they're huge. No, they're very big. Of course they are. All right. Well, we're going to continue to keep an eye on this story, and I know you will as well. And if you want to find out more about these stories, he'll be dropping all that information tonight around the 7 o'clock hour. So go to flconservativevoice.com, go to the website, Florida Conservative Voice, and find out more about this. And I'm going to go reach out to Brian Hammond and some other people because I want to get more details on this, the Army Corps and what they're thinking about doing, especially considering that, and this is just me talking, the shoring up of the dike was supposed to ensure that we were going to have less water release anyway to begin with. So where are we going with? There's so many questions. Thanks a lot, Brendan, Leslie.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing that to me.
You'll be happy to see that the commissioners, our Lee County commissioners, are fighting really hard.
They are. No, they're awesome. All right, I got to go. I'll see you later.
See you next week.
All right, see you next week. There he goes. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live, drewsteele.com. The website, Steele has 3 E's. Right now, your time to call and win and play Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. I don't know. Caller number 5. Okay, that's fine. Caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. Fifth caller plays and wins Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5. Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Therese O'Shea.
Good morning. Tracking eastbound slowdowns along the Midpoint Bridge because of just some morning volume building up out there. And it is a wet morning drive because of all those early morning showers we're dealing with. So take it slow. Cape Coral Bridge running up to speed in both directions. We are tracking a crash still causing problems with roadblock heading through Summerlin Road at Pine Ridge Road toward the Harlem Heights area of South Fort Myers. You'll see Lee County Sheriff's deputies directing traffic there, and just take it easy, be extra cautious. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. After a few showers closer to the coast to start out the day, look for scattered thunderstorms developing as we head into the afternoon, with temperatures topping off near average for this time of year with a high of 92 degrees. We keep it mild and humid for tonight, waking up in the mid and upper 70s. Kick off your Thursday with a high of 93 degrees for tomorrow, and more scattered thunderstorms on the way. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Stay right here, because after Drew, it's Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast. It could be the day your workforce doubles, or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn, like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network. The one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and one voice line. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Compares Comcast Business 10 gig EDI with AT&T 1 gig.
Hey, this is Papa, reporting that we're still getting a lot of calls from homeowners who were told they needed a new re-roof after Irma. Most of these folks had a few broken tiles that are obsolete. Our company has 2 warehouses filled with the older obsolete tiles that have never been used. If you think that you may not need a new re-roof, but only need to replace some obsolete tile, please call me for our free tile roof inspection. We may be able to repair and seal your roof to make it look new and beautiful, a lot cheaper than replacing the entire roof. If you call me for our free inspection, we'll place you on our proactive list, and in the event of another hurricane, you won't have to go searching for a contractor because we will automatically call you to see if you need assistance. Let me show you how we can clean and seal and protect your roof, pavers, and pool decks. On behalf of my sons, Casey, Carrie, and Cody, call us at 945-2700. That's 945-2700, area code 239-945-2700. We're open 24/7, and you can call us right now for a free tile roof inspection.
License number CCC 1326213.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to the world famous Skip. Skip's in Cape Coral. Hey, Skip.
Hey, Drew. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. All right, Skip, put that world famous brain together and tell me who was the president of the United States in the year 1982.
1982. I would have to say Gerald Ford.
No, it was Ronald Reagan, actually, in 1982. Ronald Reagan. All right, well, let's work on this one. How often are U.S. representative elections held? Every
6 years.
No, it's actually every 2 years. A U.S. rep is every 2 years, a congressional
I
race.
better take my mask off so I could think.
Ah, come on now. Look at him making a mask joke. Okay. All right, let's try this. Oh, boy. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? What were we concerned about during the Cold War?
Nuclear war with Russia.
Or political ideology?
Communism.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Okay, good. All right, so you got an associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question right here. I'm going to ask it anyway. I was rethinking this question. I'm going to ask it. In 1984, Democrat presidential nominee Walter Mondale chose this person as his running mate. It was the first time a major party had a female on the ticket. What was her name?
I can see her now. Dark hair. Can you give me a hint?
Geraldine Ferraro.
There you go.
Yeah.
Geraldine Ferraro.
We can't accept that. All right, well, listen, you got an associate's degree today on Drew's college, Skip, and maybe it was the way I introduced you that put too much pressure on you, and you felt like you had to just stop the competition and go home.
No, the CDC's just messed with my mind this morning.
All right,
so.
that's not. Don't blame them. Don't blame them. Make it about you, sir.
That's all right. It's all on me.
It's all on you. All right, we got to go, Skip. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, back at you. We already went through that. Okay. Mask mandates. We're going to talk about that. Dr. Fauci had a lot of things to say about mask mandates over the years, actually over the months. Wait till you hear this montage coming up. What a mess.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Every athlete ready to compete this summer is a miracle of decades of sweat, practice, and reimagining what's possible. At Closet Factory, we applaud all of them. Because even though we'll never fly through the air doing handsprings or glide in the 100-meter butterfly, our team of designers, fabricators, and installers have spent decades pushing our focus discipline so that our customers can live as smoothly, gracefully, and powerfully as possible. So join Closet Factory in our appreciation of the summer spirit and in saying, let's go USA.
Grandpa Joe doesn't want voter ID, but Uncle Sam says we have to do a station ID. 92.5 WFSX Estero, Fox News. Right, all along.
It's all because of the Delta variant. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Revised mask guidelines came down the same day 70,000 new COVID cases were reported in the U.S.
In rare occasions, some vaccinated people infected with the Delta variant after vaccination may be contagious.
So CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky recommends vaccinated Americans wear masks indoors again in areas with high COVID rates. This as some communities implement mask and vaccine mandates. President Biden ordered VA healthcare workers to be vaccinated.
And he isn't ruling out expanding it to all federal government employees.
It's under consideration right now, but if you're not vaccinated, you're not really as smart as I thought you were.
It comes as the DOJ's Office of Legal Counsel yesterday said mandates are legal.
Fox's Griff Jenkins, a Republican, won a special runoff election in Texas, but not the one backed by former President Trump. Jake Ellzey defeated Susan Wright, who was trying to replace her late husband Ron after Congressman Wright died of COVID. At the Olympics, gymnast Simone Biles is pulled out of the all-around competition the day after leaving the team competition after a bad performance, saying,
"Put mental health first, because if you don't, then you're not going to enjoy your sport and you're not going to succeed as much as you want to."
Swimmer Katie Ledecky won the U.S.'s 10th gold medal. The U.S. men's basketball team rebounded from a loss to France, blowing out Iran 120-66. Now, Iran's supreme leader couldn't have liked that as he speaks out on stalled nuclear talks. Fox's Simon Owen has more live.
Dave, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei has criticized the U.S. as stubborn, and he said experience shows the West cannot be trusted. American and Iranian officials have been talking indirectly about reviving the Iran nuclear deal. But today, Khamenei complained that the U.S. is insisting any restoration of the agreement includes a pledge to discuss other contentious subjects like Iran's ballistic missiles. Dave?
America's listening to Fox News.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Tracking eastbound slowdowns along the Midpoint Bridge because of just some morning volume building up out there. And it is a wet morning drive because of all those early morning showers we're dealing with. So take it slow. Cape Coral Bridge running up to speed in both directions. We are tracking a crash still causing problems with roadblock heading through Summerlin Road at Pine Ridge Road toward the Harlem Heights area of South Fort Myers. You'll see Lee County Sheriff's deputies directing traffic there, and just take it easy, be extra cautious. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, as we head into your Wednesday, look to a similar pattern as what we had yesterday, with a few showers and thunderstorms possible closer to the coast to start out the day, and those beginning to migrate a little bit farther inland towards the afternoon. Temperatures topping off near average for this afternoon with a high of 92 degrees. As we head into your Wednesday night, things mainly dying down. However, a few showers will be possible once again closer to the coast for Thursday morning. A mild, humid start to kick off tomorrow with another high near about 93 degrees for your Thursday afternoon, and more scattered thunderstorms in the forecast through Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton today at noon. Hannity at 3. And The Drive with Trey Radel at 5. 92.5 Fox News. Right, all along.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window, and we would like to manufacture and install your windows. Only New South offers true factory direct windows to you. Only New South has award-winning windows that are made and designed specifically for our Florida weather. Every single New South window is custom manufactured just for your home. These are high-performance, energy-efficient windows, and now you can buy 2 windows and get the third absolutely free. Visit us at newsouthwindow.com or call for your factory direct pricing.
Call now, 1-800-NEW-WINDOWS.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
This is Mike Roberts, Vice President at Mortgage Warehouse, Southwest Florida's mortgage price leader and home of the no closing cost mortgage. No points, no hidden fees, no loan costs, period. If the mortgage you have right now was done prior to COVID-19, you should call us for a free review. At Mortgage Warehouse, we understand how frustrating it can be to make your mortgage payment month after month, and the loan balance just doesn't seem to go down. The payment is mostly interest, but we can help with that. We can combine near record low mortgage rates with our local no closing cost program to improve your mortgage payment right away. You do not have to roll any closing costs into your loan balance to get these ultra-low mortgage rates. You can apply online at mortgagewarehouse.com or call 313-5000. That's 313-5000, mortgagewarehouse.com.
Certain restrictions apply. NMLS ID 137154, Equal Housing Lender.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
Sales desk, Marty speaking.
Hey, you got your shades on, Marty?
Shades on? What? For what?
Well, the huge savings at Victory Lane are sensational.
That's cute.
They got new Chevy Silverados with thousands off.
Yeah, look, I can do 1,000 off too, my friend.
I said thousands, plural with an S, Marty.
I know how to spell, all right?
What can you spell? Fowler and Winkler?
What's Fowler and Winkler got to do with it?
That's where Chevys cost less and people get sensational savings.
Oh, boy.
With no high-pressure sales tactics.
High pressure. Listen, I don't have to take all this from you.
Oh, I see you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Summer's here and the savings are sensational at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New 2021 Silverado 1500s, thousands off MSRP. Or choose 0% for 72 months on select new Chevy models. And you won't get burned with our gold 100% credit approval. Don't miss sensational savings at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined. Dealer retains all rebates, expires 7/31/21.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
Hello, I'm Dave Harmer, owner of First Class Air Conditioning. Since 1977, we've been pretty selective when it comes to hiring new people. We take special pride in the craftsmen we train and employ. If you're an experienced HVAC professional, consider joining us. With a 40-year track record, we're here for the long haul. Call today, 574-2500, and ask for Mr. Harmer. That's 574-2500.
First Class Air Conditioning. Our name says it all.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad to see you here. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line, streaming live. DrewSteele.com is the website. Steele has 3 E's. You can go there and you can watch. It's good for your smart device, your mobile device. Also, at Drew Steele Radio on YouTube. You can go there for the time being to watch, and you can subscribe to the podcast. There's a link at DrewSteele.com if you would like to do that. We appreciate those that are subscribing. Thank you very much. The lies piling up, day one of the January 6th hearings. Isn't it about getting to the truth? Don't you want to have more people there that would be able to go over every issue on day one of the things that people are concerned about, as opposed to the theater that we were witnessing And I'm just trying to understand, like, why the first day, right out of the gate, would you have an officer who is there talking about a couple of different things and not being 100% honest, right? I mean, it's something that you would imagine is a given. And we didn't get a lot of that. What we got was a star witness that everybody's been talking about, Harry Dunn, the officer, the Capitol Police officer, who had a history of hating President Trump and supporting riots. And, of course, they weren't where he was at and where he was working on the Capitol. But as far as every place else, it seems like this star witness, the Capitol Police officer, Harry Dunn, had no problem with it. Are we allowed to ask those simple questions? The fact that he defended violent leftist rioting that was going on in Kenosha, Wisconsin, going after Tucker Carlson on his program as Tucker Carlson was talking about Kenosha devolving into anarchy because the authorities abandoned the people. Those in charge from the governor on down refused to enforce the law. They've stood back and watched Kenosha burn. Are we really surprised that looting and arson accelerated into murder? You remember what happened there in Kenosha and how awful it was. Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn tweeting back to Tucker Carlson, why is murder an appropriate response to property damage, but property damage isn't an appropriate response to murder? Is that the right thing for an officer to be talking about and feeling it? He's certainly shown himself to be in many tweets a progressive activist. If you're looking at a lot of what he said, a lot of anti-Trump tweets, calling him racist in chief, it's out there. It's known. Again, it adds to the theater. There are a lot of questions that have to be answered. Who was it? I think it was the guys at the Conservative Treehouse brought this up as well. Just an interesting little factoid, if you will, or maybe a question about this specifically. Why is it that on camera you can see sitting behind the witnesses, these Capitol Police officers, why is it that there are a lot of individuals that are there that were also part of the not only fraudulent FBI Clinton email investigation of 2016 and the interviews of Hillary Clinton, but also the people that represented Monica McClain, who was the best FBI friend of Christine Blasey Ford, who helped write the letter to Dianne Feinstein during the effort to block Justice Kavanaugh for SCOTUS. Why are these same people who were part of the Christine Blasey Ford theater, if you will, part of this theater? It seems odd that they're the same players. There are a gajillion different lawyers and law firms and individuals who can represent others across the planet. Why is it that these same players are popping up? They're asking the question. I'm just putting that out there. It's a little posit for you to think about. Adam Kinzinger is crying during the January 6th hearing yesterday. Some people are saying it's almost like an audition for a gig. And
thank you, Mr. Chairman. And
that's enough. I can't listen. I was going to play some of the audio of him getting emotional. Adam Schiff, who's part of this committee. Adam Schiff, can I remind you, the same Adam Schiff who had no problem behind closed doors and in written record letting everybody know that there wasn't a lot of evidence with the Trump-Russia collusion hoax. Yeah, we didn't have any of the evidence that we've been saying to the media out loud.
There is significant evidence, much of it in the public domain, on the issue of collusion. The secret meetings with George Papadopoulos, the secret meeting at Trump Tower with the president's son and son-in-law, and campaign chairman, the lies and dissembling about that meeting, the promises by Russia that were communicated to the highest levels of the campaign in the preview, in the run-up to that meeting, that this was part of the Russian government's effort to help Donald Trump.
That Adam Schiff is on the committee. The same Adam Schiff who's doing his good, bad, and the ugly imitation when he was lying about what was in the transcripts in the phone call with Ukraine, the former president. And you remember, thanks to the former president saying, let's put the transcripts out. Before they were out, Adam Schiff took to the podium and the dais to let everybody know.
And I'm going to say this only 7 times, so you better listen good.
Yeah.
I want you to make up dirt on my political opponent, understand lots of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm asking, and
Yeah.
so I'm only going to say this a few more times. And by the way, don't call me again. I'll call you when you've done what I asked.
I'm sorry. You can't have a search for the truth when you have people like Adam Schiff on a committee. It just shows you what a farce this is. And it's just the first day. Who knows what's going to be coming up over the next few months, and they know it. And it was Jim Jordan on Brett Baer's program who was laying out a lot of the concerns that he has with regard to what was going on yesterday as well and trying to get to the truth.
Capitol Hill police who protect this and protect Capitol Hill, why weren't they given more help? Why wasn't more help there that day? And the only person who can answer that question is the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. And I think she thought we were going to keep raising that question, and that's why she didn't put me on. Because remember, Brett, there was a story in Politico last Wednesday morning, which means the Speaker's office talked to the press the day before that said, the headline said, Democrats accept Leader McCarthy's selections, and then something changed. And I think it's the fact that I raised that issue last Tuesday. That fundamental question is the one that needs to be answered. And the fact that we're going to continue to raise that, I think is the reason we're not on the committee.
Yeah, what about that? What about the help that was not given to Capitol Police at the time? Even Representative Elise Stefanik was talking about it yesterday, too, right?
Everyone knows it. The reason why Nancy Pelosi is refusing to seat accomplished and well-respected hardworking Republicans like Jim Jordan and Jim Banks is because she doesn't want the American people to know the truth or learn the facts. She doesn't want a fair or bipartisan investigation. She wants a political one. It is a fact that in December of 2020, Nancy Pelosi was made aware of potential security threats to the Capitol, and she failed to act. It is a fact that the U.S. Capitol Police raised concerns, and rather than providing them with the support and resources they needed and they deserved, she prioritized her partisan political optics over their safety.
And continues to do so. And that's just some of what was going on. And those questions were going to be asked. And no, we can't have any pushback. Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, the Republicans there on the committee, absolutely going along with the narrative that's there. Look, it's going to keep going on and on like this. It's not going to stop. They're going to keep dragging this out. They're going to subpoena people. They're going to bring more people on board. They won't bring any of the tapes, I'm sure, out unless they are select tapes. You know, it was the Capitol Police officer, Harry Dunn, who was also making the accusation that he was called the N-word, and he was called the N-word by a bunch of different individuals. Which would be horrible if that was the case. And that's shameful. There's no doubt about it if that took place. But I'm sure there would be people with cell phones that could prove that took place as well. I'm sure there's cameras there that could have shown that took place. I'm sure there are others that would corroborate the stories, and we can see the evidence of that if that were actually happening, because I certainly would like to see that. You know, we're told as well by Committee Chair Benny Thompson that 7 people lost their lives. Officer Harry Dunn said that Officer Sicknick died from injuries he sustained in the line of duty. He said this. But that's not true. The medical examiner's office said he died of natural causes. They're lying. Why would you do that? Because nobody on the dais is going to challenge him, and the media is not going to either. 239-479-5592, the talk and text line. I don't know if I want to take a break or I want to keep going. Can I keep going? I feel like keeping going. Because I wanted to talk a little bit about the issues of masks and mask mandates, and they're back, and it's like it's a return. It's a return here we go, everybody. I don't know what's going on here, but it's was that really necessary? Okay. Anyway, you like that, don't you? You don't. Okay. We're doing this again, huh? Masking up, and governor here in the States, we're not doing it. Good. I would agree, and I think there are a lot of other states that are thinking about this as well. Not shutting down. Look, if you want to wear a mask, go ahead. If you feel like this is something that is helpful, go ahead. There's no evidence to prove that the mask mandates work, but if you feel comfortable doing it, fine. Man, I wish we had an expert, somebody who everybody trusts, that could give us concrete, solid information on masks, mask mandates, masking up, and this flow of 15 days to stop the 30-day spread, masking up. And as we mask up more and more and more and more and more, the cases go down, 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 down. And the proof, the data and the science. Wouldn't it be awesome if we had somebody like that? Or do we have somebody like Dr. Fauci who has flip-flopped so many times on masks, I can't even keep track of it?
People should not be walking around with masks. Let me just state for the record that masks are not theater. Wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better. And masks are protective. But it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is.
There has not been any indication that putting a mask on and wearing a mask for a considerable period of time has any deleterious effects.
There are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face.
And can you get some schmutz sort of staying inside there?
Of course.
We don't want the schmutz. Oh, there's more.
You do not need to wear a mask indoors if, in fact, you've been vaccinated. Good that you're vaccinated, but in a situation where you have people indoors, particularly crowded, you should wear a mask.
So even if you are vaccinated, you should wear a mask. That if, in fact, you are vaccinated, fully vaccinated, you are protected, and you do not need to wear a mask outdoors or indoors.
I can't do it anymore. This goes on for another 2 minutes if you're interested. Just putting that out there. We've begged and pleaded on this program that we would not make this about politics, that we would just want the information that we need since day one. And then we're asked to trust when we have all of the flip-flopping that's been going on. It's crazy. It's a good thing we don't have like a president of the United States that feels like the best way to get people to vax, for example, is to insult them. At least it's not.
Will you require all federal employees to get vaccinated?
That's under consideration right now, but if you're not vaccinated, you're not nearly as smart as I thought.
Yeah, you're not really as smart as I thought. That's going to work from Joe Biden. And you're not nearly as smart as I thought you were. Yeah. 239-479-5592. All right, we'll talk about this more and more audio coming up in case you missed CDC Director Rochelle Walensky. She's flip-flopped a few different times on this and masking and vaccinations and things I guess we're not allowed to ask. Fundamentally, one of the things that Alex Berenson mentioned yesterday and I brought up to some people last night is, look, there's two possibilities when it comes to vaccinations. They work. Unvaccinated or no threat to the vaccinated. If anything, the reverse based on high-load vaccine cases. In that case, leave the unvaccinated alone. I mean, listen, we're going to have to figure this out for ourselves, yourselves, themselves, whoever's not vaccinated, right? Or the other part that he's mentioning, which is the vaccines don't work in that case. And then he just kind of leaves it as an open question. Oh, boy. All right, it's at Daybreak, 92.5, Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Need some inspiration? Don't look left. Look right. Here, 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
It's a new day, and it's coming at you fast.
It could be the day your workforce doubles or the day your visitors quadruple. With Comcast Business, you'll have what you need to take on every twist and turn, like the flexibility to control multiple Wi-Fi networks from anywhere, and the power of the nation's largest gig speed network, the one that can deliver gig speeds to the most businesses. Every day in business is a big day. We'll keep you ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each a month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Ask how to get up to 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits per second internet and one voice line. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Compares Comcast Business 10 gig EDI with AT&T 1 gig.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at GoodDealsAppliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Here in Fort Myers, there are a lot of options for men seeking treatment for sexual performance issues, or ED. But Metro Men's Health is truly different than the rest. Metro Men's Health is the only clinic in the Fort Myers Metro approved to offer the most advanced wave technology available. Our treatment applies the research from clinical studies worldwide, including Cambridge and Johns Hopkins, to treat the root cause of ED and help hundreds of couples regain hope, confidence, and spontaneity. My experience at Metro Men's Health was pretty awesome. My wife has a smile on her face, I have a smile on my face, and when it comes to performance, I can perform.
Call Metro Men's Health at 239-977-1333 or visit metromenshealth.com. Metro Men's Health is the best at what they do because it's all they do. Call 239-977-1333. That's 239-977-1333.
Sales desk, Marty speaking.
Hey, you got your shades on, Marty?
Shades on? What? For what?
Well, the huge savings at Victory Lane are sensational.
That's cute. Ha
They got new Chevy Silverados with thousands off.
Yeah, look, I can do 1,000 off too, my friend.
I said thousands, plural with an S, Marty.
I know how to spell, all right?
What can you spell? Fowler and Winkler?
What's Fowler and Winkler got to do with it?
That's where Chevys cost less and people get sensational savings.
Oh, boy.
With no high-pressure sales tactics.
High pressure. Listen, I don't have to take all this from you.
Oh, I see you can dish it out, but you can't take it. Summer's here and the savings are sensational at Victory Lane Chevrolet. New 2021 Silverado 1500s, thousands off MSRP. Or choose 0% for 72 months on select new Chevy models. And you won't get burned with our gold 100% credit approval. Don't miss sensational savings at Victory Lane Chevrolet on the corner of Fowler and Winkler. Find new roads online, victorylanechevrolet.com. Offers on select models with approved credit and cannot be combined. Dealer retains all rebates, expire 7/31/21.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army, almost 800 lawyers alone. Your case is a big deal to us. When it comes to law, size matters. We're America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, checking some of the headlines out. A Minnesota Vikings assistant coach said, hey, I don't want to take the vaccine. And, he doesn't have the job anymore. So when CDC Walensky says there's it's personal choices with masks and the like, I don't know if that's really true. We have the audio of that coming up. And also, hey, look at this. We're talking about the January 6th riot there in Washington, D.C. I wonder what people think when it comes to Black Lives Matter and those riots. Should we have those investigated? A poll came out. And look at this. 1/3 more Americans believe Congress should hold investigative hearings about last summer's Black Lives Matter protests that sparked violence and think lawmakers ought to probe the riot on the Capitol on January 6th. Really? Will that happen? No.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
and Sutherland Nissan wins again. Car shortages are still happening across the entire country, but here in Florida, Sutherland Nissan leads the race in trade-ins and in new and pre-owned inventory. Now, during the $8,000 Fast Trade event at Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, get $8,000 overbook value for your trade, Thursday through Sunday only. Bring your trade in. Get $8,000 overbook value for it. Click SutherlandBuysIt.com right now. It's the fastest way to get an extra $8,000. So if your trade is worth $2,000, you get $10,000 for it. If your vehicle is worth $12,000, you get $20,000 for it. Why wait? See how much you'll get for your car right now at SutherlandBuysIt.com. Then come see how Sutherland leads the race in new and pre-owned inventory. Get to Florida's #1 Nissan dealer by Sunday. Sutherland Nissan Fort Myers and Sutherland Nissan Cape Coral, your used car mega store. Online at FLNissan.com. If you don't shop Sutherland, you'll pay too much. See dealer for details.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, the search for pain relief can feel like an endless and hopeless ordeal.
I would try drugstore, insoles and supports.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked.
If you think you've tried everything to relieve your foot pain, you probably haven't tried arch supports from the Good Feet store.
And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I don't have foot pain anymore. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Hi, I'm Ty Laster, Managing Partner and CEO of Key City Capital. So why are we here in Southwest Florida? Well, at KCAP, our mission is to connect capital to wealth for all of our partners through passive real estate investments. And very simply, we generate and distribute double-digit returns for our investors by investing in single-family homes and apartments and unique alternative cash-flowing asset-backed investments.
Call us today at 239-330-2080 or check us out online today at kcap925.com.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News, traffic.
Good morning. Heading out right now through South Fort Myers. We've got a couple of crashes. One on Summerlin Road with roadblock right now near the intersection of Pine Ridge Road. So be extra careful out there. Avoid the area if you can. We've got Lee County deputies doing traffic control at the intersection. Also a crash nearby, right at A&W Bulb Road, just north of Gladiolus off of Sandpiper Preserve Boulevard. We also have a crash we're watching now on 75, northbound mile marker 123. That's a hit and run crash. So watch out for some delays right near the exit to Corkscrew. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Therese O'Shea. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
Well, as we head into your Wednesday, look to a similar pattern as what we had yesterday, with a few showers and thunderstorms possible closer to the coast to start out the day, and those beginning to migrate a little bit farther inland towards the afternoon. Temperatures topping off near average for this afternoon with a high of 92 degrees. As we head into your Wednesday night, things mainly dying down. However, a few showers will be possible once again closer to the coast for Thursday morning. A mild, humid start to kick off tomorrow with another high near about 93 degrees for your Thursday afternoon, and more scattered thunderstorms in the forecast through Thursday, Friday, and into the upcoming weekend. I'm Wink News Weather Authority meteorologist Casey Sherman.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News.
Hi, it's Big Al from Stevie Tomatoes. They say love and passion makes the world go round. Love for home, family, your country, partner, a friend, and love for food. Stevie wants to be part of your love with our food, drink, sports, and fun. Our passion for your satisfaction brings our love to all of our great customers. Whether it's our brisket short rib burgers, Chicago pizza, fajitas, wings, fish fry, or ribs, it's delivered to your table with love. So at Stevie's, we invite you to share our love of great food, drinks, sports, and fun. You'll never get bored or broke. We feel loved by the sound of our great customers. We promise to treat you like family at your home away from home. I guarantee it. For daily specials, go to StevieTomato.com. Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. Come, come, come.
Stevie Tomatoes Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
Here in Fort Myers, there are a lot of options for men seeking treatment for sexual performance issues or ED. But Metro Men's Health is truly different than the rest. Metro Men's Health is the only clinic in the Fort Myers Metro approved to offer the most advanced wave technology available. Our treatment applies the research from clinical studies worldwide, including Cambridge and Johns Hopkins, to treat the root cause of ED and help hundreds of couples regain hope, confidence, and spontaneity. My experience at Metro Men's Health was pretty awesome. My wife has a smile on her face, I have a smile on my face, and when it comes to performance, I can perform.
Call Metro Men's Health at 239-977-1333 or visit metromenshealth.com. Metro Men's Health is the best at what they do because it's all they do. Call 239-977-1333. That's 239-977-1333.
Hey, we've got my friend Dave Meister on the phone, of course, with the Floor Meisters, the family-owned Floor Meisters in Naples. And Dave, listen, I know you got a lot of things going on. You're selling a lot of cord tech. That's great, but you got this 8,000 square foot showroom with a selection of carpet that is absolutely unbelievable as well. And the prices right now are pretty amazing. So I hear you got this whole thing going on with Dreamweaver carpets.
Well, we have the Dreamweaver Select, which is this is $3.99 carpet pad and labor, but this has a lifetime warranty for pet stains, abrasive wear, and even for steps, a stair warranty. Nobody's ever had that before.
Listen, if you haven't been to the Floor Meisters, you really owe it to yourself to visit their store, 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. Whether it's tile, laminate, hardwood, or, of course, carpet, they've got it all. So give them a call today, 239-596-4964, or on the web at floormeisters.com.
Celebrate your accomplishments with a previously enjoyed Rolex watch from Duncan's Diamonds. From sporty to dress models.
Hi, I'm Stuart Duncan. And here at Duncan's Diamonds, we have the finest previously enjoyed Rolexes available.
We make the process easy, beginning with the guidance of our expert consultants.
Why buy a new Rolex at full price when you can buy the exact same watch, only a few years older, certified, fixed up, refurbished with a 2-year warranty? And our knowledgeable staff will make your experience as memorable as your timepiece. Come to Duncan's Diamonds today and leave confident. You will receive the highest quality at the best possible prices. We will not be undersold by anyone, anytime, anywhere, and you can count on that.
Duncan's Diamonds. Come celebrate with the Rolex of your dreams. Naples at Mercado, Gulf Coast Town Center, and Fort Myers on US 41. Find your own one-of-a-kind jewelry.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, 239-479-5592, talk and text line. DrewSteele.com, the website, Steele has 3 E's. You can go there and not only watch the program, but you can also subscribe to the podcast. It is available for you to listen to anytime you'd like. You can go to your favorite podcast place as well. Just type in Drew Steele, look for us. It is out there, but Apple Podcasts has it there, the link set for you. All right, time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35. Number 5.
Why don't the Democrats want to get to the truth?
Why don't they want to answer the fundamental question, which is why wasn't there a better security posture on that day? Let me just read from a news account from February of this year. Pelosi's office had previously impressed upon the Sergeant of Arms, Paul Irving, that the National Guard was to remain off Capitol grounds. Irving told House administration the discussion centered around the, quote, optics.
Oh, there you go.
Why were the Democrats so concerned about the optics?
Why were they so concerned about the optics? That's Representative Jim Jordan talking about the January 6th Select Committee and being left off of it. And Steve Scalise and Elise Stefanik there speaking as well. But a lot of questions. What about the lack of security on January 6th? What about the heads up that they knew something was up and Nancy Pelosi making the decision not to support the Capitol Police and the optics? And the question is why? And a bigger question is, will we get the chance to hear this at this select committee? I can't even say it with a straight face. The answer is no.
Number 4.
Before I begin, I'd like to take a moment of my time to ask for a moment of silence for my fallen colleague, Officer Brian Sicknick, who died from injuries he sustained in the line of duty defending the capital of our beloved democracy.
That was Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn yesterday. He was kind of the star witness that they brought forth in the select committee, lying, flat out lying. That's not true. He did not die in the line of duty. He died. Even the medical examiner's office was talking about the fact that he died after the fact of a heart attack. It was natural causes. The D.C. medical examiner said that. So why would you be there and lie like that unless you know that nobody on the dais is going to question that and put it out there and put this narrative out continuously, even though it's been debunked? And by the way, Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn also defended the actions of Black Lives Matter and Antifa burning Kenosha and said, hey, no big deal. It's just property damage. And he said worse. And we're going to get to that in just a second.
Number 3.
I've just never felt like this going into a competition before, and I tried to go out here and have fun and warm up in the back, went a little bit better, but then once I came out here, I was like, no, mental is not there, so I just need to let the girls do it and focus on myself. Physically, I feel good. I'm in shape. Emotionally, that kind of varies on the time and the moment. Coming here to the Olympics and being the head star of the Olympics is not an easy feat, so we're just trying to take it one day at a time.
Okay, there's Simone Biles commenting on her withdrawal from the team final, by the way, leaving it to the team, and they got a silver medal to the Russians, no less. But again, withdrawing from individual events. And maybe I'll ask you coming out of the break more about this, because it just seems there's so many ways to look at this. Her mental health is the reason. We're hearing a lot about that lately, but letting the team down, there's so much to unpack with this, and maybe we'll get to that in a second.
Number 2.
Why do vaccinated people need to put the masks back on?
Well, Peter, first of all, I would say again, just to go back to this chart, which I will handily point to again, if you were vaccinated, it can save your life. And I think the clear data shows that this pandemic is killing, is hospitalizing, is making people very sick who are not vaccinated. That still continues to be the case, regardless of what the mask guidance looks like.
The vaccines work, which this sign says that they do. Then why do people who have had the vaccine need to now wear masks, the same as people who have not had it?
Because the public health leaders in our administration have made the determination, based on data, that that is a way to make sure they're protected, their loved ones are protected, and that's an extra step given the transmissibility of the virus.
Peter Doocy asking Jen Psaki yesterday at a White House press briefing if the vaccination is so good and you're giving us evidence about how vaccines are so good, why do people have to be masked up? You got to do better than that as an answer. Is it just me, or when Jen Psaki answers the question, you're not giving enough of the meat, if you will. It's more potatoes than meat. It's more veggies, and it's actually more spinach, to be honest with you, than meat. And that's not fair to spinach. To the reasoning behind this, right? You got to do better than that.
Number 1.
I have to seek permission to leave. I haven't checked your notice. Thank you again.
Oh, thanks so much. Hey, you couldn't have a day without your morning cup of joe right there, and that's it. It It is the president of the United States having a press briefing at the DNI offices and just making sure that he can leave. And then when he finds out he can leave, he has to step up to the microphone and let everybody know that he has to get permission, whether or not to. It's very presidential. Not really.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
What do you say? I mean, I don't know. There's so many things to talk about with the president and what he said yesterday. But before I get to that, I don't know. We talked about this earlier, and Jake thought, well, maybe we should bring this up once again. Because he has an opinion on this Simone Biles thing. I think about the Olympics. I haven't been paying much attention to them, I have to admit. After everything with the women's soccer team and the men's basketball team and how you could possibly compete in an Olympic sport and not support the country and the flag and the anthem, it's just beyond me, and I don't choose to watch or support. And it's bad because there are many people that are competing that are not doing that and are not like that, and they lose out. Simone Biles, someone who starts out shaky and then decides to exit the team. And what were you saying earlier, Jake? You think it's because she does extraordinary things. I watched some video of her, and what she does is unlike any other Olympic gymnast that I've ever seen. It's remarkable what she does. It's incredible. But she does it like nobody else. And so your thinking was they're being unfair to her because they judge her on that. And if she can't pull off what she does that nobody else can do, that they take points away. Is that what you were saying?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Okay.
She outperforms everybody substantially, obviously.
Yeah.
So certain things that she does that other contestants, competitors, whatever, can't do.
Yeah.
Because they would get hurt if they attempted it. They dock her points. At least that's what I've read. I don't know. I'm not following it 100%.
Okay.
That's just the information that I've received.
And I don't know, maybe you want to comment on this, 239-479-5592, because there's a couple of takeaways from this whole thing. The first thing is walking away from an Olympic sport and walking away from the team. Yes, you do it individually, but you are doing it as a team and competing as a team. She may come back for some other events, but this particular one she decided to walk away from. And walking away from teammates is tough. It's tough to see. It's tough to look at and then have to explain to your kids, when you feel like you're not on point, you're not doing as well as, your mental focus isn't there and you've kind of missed a couple of landings. You guys handle it. It's just too much pressure. And that brings up the second point, which is she's been under pressure like this before. She's been in the Olympics. She's been under pressure in competition. So what makes this different? How is this more pressure? Or as an elite competitor, you should be used to that kind of competition or that kind of thinking. And so now all of a sudden what changed? The other part of it is something that people have been mentioning to me on texts and emails, which is the mental health portion of it. It seems like lately that's the thing. Like you can go on TikTok and any other social media place and find more and more people, more and more of the youths of America. Yeah, I said youths.
Did you say youths?
Yeah, I did. That seemed to be making that an excuse, anxiety and pressure and the mental anguish to just kind of say, never mind. It's too much pressure. I'm not into doing it. And it's not that it's something very serious. It's something that they're making the case to me that it's something very flippant. It's really like, I messed up. You know what? I don't feel like doing this anymore. Like there's no grit. There's no coming back from that. There isn't this mental toughness that's a crucial aspect of what sports is all about. That's there to pick up and say, listen, you keep going and then you finish it out. And then later on listen, it's a bad day, but the idea that all of a sudden you failed and so, let them pick up the slack. And then making it known to other youths, the youth, it said,
Did you
all
say
right,
youths?
all right. To make it out there for the kids those on social media to say, oh, well, if she does it, then I don't have to try. Even if I fail, I can just. So that's not a good image. And then the other part of this, and I'll leave it at that leave it at this. I don't know. It's amazing how one person can polarize a country and a world, and just look. Let her be. This is what she did. All right, whatever. This is what she chose to do, and don't make it any more or less than what it is. She's made this decision. Don't glorify it or tear it down. Just kind of okay. This was her choice. Whatever. Move on. We've got school boards to dismantle, and we've got CRT to get rid of, and we've got borders to secure, and we've got a lot of things that we have to take care of. Speaking of the border and security, and again, going back to all the issues of this administration and what this administration is and is not doing, whether it's the southern border, whether it's the January 6th commission, the January 6th committee, select committee going on and going after you and Trump supporters and conservatives and the GOP, and how you can look at Antifa and BLM and look at all the rioting and destruction. Washington, D.C. was torn down and burned to its core during the summer of 2020. And we're not hearing a peep about investigations or anything like that from any committees on Capitol Hill, but yet we are about January 6th. People have a problem with that. And all the things that Joe Biden is doing and this administration is doing, and you can go up and down the line of the things that you have concerns about, the Marxist ideology that is part of the left in the Democrat Party right now. Sorry, if you don't like that, then tell me where I'm wrong. 239-479-5592. I'm seriously asking you that question. If you don't like the idea that CRT, it comes from Marxist ideology, if you don't like the idea of what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and what Bernie Sanders has been doing, and
This is what you do.
yeah, and what he does and has been doing for years and years, and how you don't hear a lot from him except for the support for this administration, which certainly is pushing leftist Marxist ideology. If you believe that all of that is wrong, please tell me where I'm wrong about that. Then this video that Micah Palka sent me is going to speak volumes to where we are right now. I wonder how much of this is true. And I'll leave it up to you to decide, and we'll finish out the program this way. It wasn't too long ago that Barack Obama sat down with Stephen Colbert and said something that at the time was funny or semi-funny because it's Stephen Colbert. I mean, it depends on how you view his comedy. But now, in retrospect, when you hear what he was saying, whoo, it kind of sends chills up and down your spine. You ready to be chilly? Check this out.
What you know now, do you wish like you had a third term? And I used to say, you know what, if I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. Wow. I'd be fine with that.
Heard some noise. Anybody a little freaked out about that? Was that you? Jake was like, almost like.
Yeah, I was pretty loud.
Yeah, that was.
Sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty spot on, wasn't it?
Sounds about right. Explains the teleprompter and the fumbling of the words.
The person that can do all the. There's Uncle Joe. Oh, Lunch Bucket Joe. And there's one thing we just can't forget about Lunch Bucket Joe.
I got hairy legs.
Listen, Glenn Beck is next. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Right now, let's find out how the remainder of the day is shaping up with Wink News meteorologist Casey Sherman.
Happy Wednesday, Southwest Florida. After a few showers closer to the coast to start out the day, look for scattered thunderstorms developing as we head into the